Welcome to day 2 of the 5-day business growth challenge. I am so excited to have you back here. So yesterday was all about how to get your social media bio ready, how to get ready to actually get yourself in front of people. Today, we're going to jump into another quick training on social media and how that we continue to use social media to get in front of people. Let people know we exist, right? Advertising is simply just letting people know they can buy something from you. And we want to make sure that we can do that so that people have the ability to pay us for services or products or whatever we're selling in our business. So in just a minute, we're going to jump into this training that is designed to help you get in front of people more frequently. And then when you come back here, I'll give you the tasks for the day.
Reality is boring marketing doesn't work. When we talk about social media, we don't want to be just treating it like it's a checklist marketing item. We don't want to treat it like it's just something that you have to do. We want to put the effort into it to actually connect with people. Our goal in all of this is to kill mediocre marketing. The better you get at marketing, including social media marketing, the better you get at connecting with your audience, the more your sales will increase. Let's take a look at the platform. One of the things I'm always asked is, which platform should I be on? The reality is, if you cannot be on all of them, I want you to be on the platform that your potential customers hang out on the most. Not the platform you like the most, not the one that you spend the most time on, not the one you're most comfortable with. I want you to take a look at where are your potential customers hanging out the most and make sure that you're on that platform. If you're only choosing one platform, you definitely want to make sure that you're on the platform where your customers are hanging out. Another important step of the platforms is to really understand the psychology of the person on that platform. It will change what we're posting and how we're posting. What do I mean by that? The person that is on LinkedIn may be on Instagram at a different time, but they're going to have very different goals when they're on each of those platforms. So when I'm on Instagram, I might be wanting more to be entertained or learn things in a short amount of time. But when I'm on LinkedIn, I'm in a very business mindset. So I might be trying to find certain things for my business, right? So the mindset and the psychology of the person on the platform, even if they're the same person, is different. And we need to cater to that. We need to make sure that we're looking at the platform as a whole and putting out content that aligns with that platform and what people are looking for when they're on that platform. I highly encourage you to cross-post and cross-engage with the different platforms. Now, let me be clear, that does not mean you can just take one post and put it on all the platforms. The reality is, as I said, the psychology is a little bit different. So you might need to change it a little bit. The caption might be a little bit different. The call to action might be a little bit different. But the more you can take your social media content ideas and adapt it to the different platforms and then make sure that you're posting on multiple platforms, the better your reach is going to be. That being said, if you can only master one platform, if you're only going to stay consistent on one platform, then I want you to choose the platform that your customers are hanging out on, or your potential customers are hanging out on, and master that platform first. Let's take a look at the different platforms and how they kind of are a little bit different in the way that we post and engage on these platforms. So X, or Twitter, and Threads are platforms that allow you to post a lot. And what I like about these platforms is we can post multiple times a day, sometimes up to 5 or 10 times a day, and use that to see what gets the best reaction. So if I just post, I like to use Twitter or Threads as a way of people just posting everything they're thinking, different social media content ideas, just the different thoughts that they have as it relates to their business or to their niche. And start posting. You will see that there are going to be some that stick, right? Some that perform better, some content ideas that people react to more on X or Twitter or Threads. Those are great ideas to now turn into additional content pieces, right? So it allows us to see what actually resonates with our audience in a very short period of time, because we can do text based only if we want. We don't have to really create a whole lot to go with those actual platforms. So we can just very quickly post it and then actually see which ideas and which pieces of content are resonating with our audience, and then take those and make them into more content pieces for the other platforms. TikTok is more of a find you platform. So this is what we consider more of a discovery platform. We do want a mix of discovery and warming up our audience platforms, right? So the discovery platform is, again, like where you're introducing yourself, where we're offering that free beer. So TikTok and YouTube Shorts tend to be more of a discovery or find you platform, while Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn are more for people to get to know you. So they've already seen you once, and it's a way to warm up that audience. It's in that get to know you phase of the staircase. Now, again, if you're only using one, you're going to create mix, and we're going to talk about different types of content in module 3, but you're going to create a mix of these on that platform. So when we're talking about these platform tips, it's if we're going to mix multiple platforms and how to approach each different type of platform. Again, YouTube Shorts are performing really well. They continue to perform really well. And it is more of a discovery platform. So it's a way to get people to discover you quickly. One thing I want to remind you is Facebook continues to trend as the #1 way to increase followers. So oftentimes Facebook is like, hey, we kind of disregard it, but it is the #1 way to increase your followers. That being said, if you have an audience that is under 25, Facebook probably is not the place for you. Most people under the age of 25 aren't on Facebook as frequently. And so if your audience, like, this is where knowing your audience and where they hang out comes in really important. If your audience is highly above 50 or 60, then Facebook has to be a place where you are and where you're creating content. So when we go back to figuring out which types, where you should be, the #1 indicator of where you should be is where your audience is hanging out. I want you to understand how the algorithms actually work. So when we start to talk about nobody's seeing my stuff, or I'm shadow banned, or the algorithm hates you, I promise you, the algorithm does not hate you. The algorithm doesn't have any feelings, so it can't like you or hate you. The algorithm's entire goal is to keep people on the platform. That is it. So the longer that people stay on the platform, the more money those platforms make. You see, what they want is to be able to sell ads, right? And so the longer people stay on a platform, the more ads they can sell, the more that they can put their ads in front of people. So the algorithm's only goal is to keep people on the platform, which means attention is the new currency. If you are getting and keeping people's attention, so if they're watching your videos, if they're interacting with you, if they're sharing your content, then the algorithm is going to love you. That is all the algorithm is paying attention to, is how much attention are you getting on the platform, and are you able to keep people's attention? Attention is the new currency. If you can get and keep people's attention, you will have a lot of success on social media. And what I want you to understand is, as as we are going through what we've called kind of the TikTokification of social media, people's everything is based on people's interests now. So these algorithms, these platforms know what you're interested in, know what you're interacting with, know what you're actually watching. And so it's going to serve more content to you that is like that. So that's why um, attention is the greatest currency. When you start to get people's attention, when they're watching you, then these platforms are going to show you to more people because you've proven that you can keep attention. Okay. So that is all that's going on with the platform. So the key here is you have to understand that your goal is to get attention. Additionally, without attention, you can't introduce yourself. So as we talked about moving through that marketing staircase, we have to be able to introduce ourselves before we can offer our free beer, before we can really get to know people. We have to be able to introduce ourselves. So if you can't get attention, you don't ever have the ability to introduce yourself.
Welcome back. As we talked about in that video, getting attention is essential. Part of getting attention is maintaining consistency on social media, which means you're continually posting. One of the challenges of that can be the fact that we don't always know what to post. We don't always know exactly what we should be posting, or we don't always have ideas. So what we want to do is create what we call a content bank. This gives us the ability to be able to post quickly. We don't always have time to film and edit and do all these things. So this is giving us the idea that we can post quickly. We have a bank of content that we can go to and be able to make sure we maintain that consistency and be able to get people's attention. So what is your goal for today? We have a couple different resources for you, but the first is a B-roll training. So it talks about how to create B-roll, what it is, and some ideas for B-roll. So first, I want you to create a content bank of B-roll. Second, we have some hooks and some other things listed into the resources. So I want you to go and create some hooks and other things that you can use to post about your business. And when you're done, go ahead and post in day 2 that not only you completed the task, but if you made a post, would love to see what that post was. As always, if you have any questions about creating content, how to create a content bank, or anything else, please reach out and let us know. I'll see you tomorrow on day 3.